Hello, 13 years ago I wrote my first article. It's interesting to go back and revisit your thoughts when some time has passed. When the events are recent, it's difficult to be objective because biases won't let you accept your mistakes or change your mind. But when some time has passed, you can be objective, you can properly evaluate yourself and learn some useful lessons. The article was on PPC, which is the largest electric power company in Greece. At that time, in 2007, the oil price was going up, and that was causing troubles to the company because it was difficult to pass through to the customers the increasing energy costs. So the analysts were very pessimistic for the company and they were downgrading it. The main thesis of the article was, I totally disagree with the analysts. I believe that the higher the oil prices, the better for PPC, and that if oil prices went down, that could be dangerous for the viability and the future prospects of the company. My main argument was that PPC is mainly a producer of energy and then a consumer, so higher oil or energy prices favor the company. PPC turned out to be a terrible investment for two reasons. First, the company stayed closely attached to the government and the unions. And second, in the United States, we have the revolution of the shale oil and natural gas, which brought the oil and natural gas prices to very low levels, and that destroyed the viability of electricity generation through coal. So the idea of the article was very right. The article was not the product of deep research. I just quickly wrote down some intuitive thoughts. That's not the right way to do it. I should have done some proper research and provided some details. What I'm proud of is that I dared to be contrarian to the prevailing opinion, and also I cast the large picture. I think that now that I have some history, some followers, I would be twice as careful to present a contrarian view. That may be dangerous because it can limit the generation and expression of my core thoughts and ideas. I am jealous of the impassiveness that I had. So the first lesson is do a proper research, but don't let the details and the opinion of the others to dilute the core of your thoughts and your intuition. A second lesson is that what you hear around is mostly noise. It's ridiculous when you realize that most of the things that you hear on news or what analysts say will make no sense in 5 years. So it's not good to focus on short-term information. For example, in PPC, 90% of the story was the relation of the management with the government and the unions, and then the energy prices. If you were focusing to other details, then you would subtract from the analysis and you wouldn't add to the analysis. The third lesson is that we tend to remember the things that makes us great and we tend to forget the points that we were wrong. For example, in PPC, I thought that the company would disengage from direct government control, but I was wrong. I couldn't remember that, but I could remember that I told you so. Low oil prices are bad for PPC, and I was right on that. But I had forgotten the points that I was wrong. That's why it's great to write down your thoughts, because then you can properly evaluate yourself. So I strongly recommend you to write down your thoughts, publish your thoughts. That's what I'm doing right now. If you enjoyed it, like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one.